serial entrepreneur, longtime investor, disruptor, trying to shake up the way that startups are funded and tech talent is hired.
For those who don't know, I mean, Naval's a bit of a legend across the world now, and especially in Silicon Valley.
And the winner is Naval Ravikant.
One of the clearest thinkers in the United States, maybe the world. I refer to Naval all the time as the smartest person I know.
I think we can all say that Naval is one of the greatest minds in the space.
You're like a wizard.
You are one of the rare guys.
I'm with the smartest guy on the planet right now.
Turn it off.
So I see entrepreneurial efforts often fail, but good entrepreneurs don't fail because they stay at it. I don't believe in this model where you basically pick something to do and then you struggle at it your entire life. I think rather a lot of life is about finding what you're meant to do uniquely. I mean, the combinatorics of human DNA are staggering. You've got 7 billion people on this planet. You're never going to meet any two people who are even vaguely alike and can substitute for each other. So every human being is unique. I think for everybody, there is something that they do that other people think is work, but is effortless for them. Their friends will basically say to them like, oh, I can't believe you can just do that without hating it. Right. Everyone's got something like that. Like the worst thing that could have happened to you was if you'd gotten all the desires, if everything you wanted in life had actually happened. You'd be living in your hometown, you'd be married to your high school sweetheart, you'd be doing your first job, but you'd be the boss at Dunkin' Donuts or whatever your first. So the world doesn't always give you what you want, but it often gives you what you need. Life is short. I'm dying every minute at a time, right? Sure. We've been dead for 13.5 billion years. That's how long from the Big Bang till now. Yeah. The universe will be around 70 billion years. You're around for 50, 70, 100 years. It's a blink of a firefly in the night, one time, right? You're just barely here. So you got to make the most of every minute.
Desire to me is a contract that you make with yourself to be unhappy until you get what you want. Okay? And I keep that in front of mind. So when I'm unhappy about something, I look for what is the underlying desire that I have that's not being fulfilled. It's okay to have desires. You're a biological creature. You're put on this earth. You have to do something. You have to have desires. You have a mission. But don't have too many. Don't pick them up unconsciously. Don't pick them up randomly. Don't have thousands of them. My coffee's too cold. Doesn't taste quite right. I'm not sitting perfectly. Oh, I wish it were warmer. Oh, my dog, pooped in the lawn. I didn't like that. Whatever it is. Pick your one overwhelming desire, and it's okay to suffer over that one. But on all the others, you want to let them go so you can be calm and peaceful and relaxed. The impacts of good decision-making are much higher than they used to be, because now you can influence thousands or millions of people through your decisions or your code. So, a clear mind leads to better judgment, leads to better outcome. So a happy, calm, peaceful person will make better decisions and have better outcomes. So if you want to operate at peak performance, you have to learn how to tame your mind, just like you have to learn how to tame your body.
Wealth is the thing that you really want. Wealth is assets that earn while you sleep. Wealth is the factory with the robots that's cranking out things. Wealth is the computer program that's running at night that's serving other customers. Wealth is even money in the bank that is being reinvested into other assets and into other businesses.
So we're talking about getting wealthy so you can retire, so you have your freedom. Not retire in the sense that you don't do anything, but in the sense that you don't have to be any place you don't want to be, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do, and you can wake up when you want, you can sleep when you want, you don't have a boss. That's freedom. So we're talking about enough wealth to get to freedom, and especially thanks to the internet these days, those opportunities are massively abundant.
Two huge games in life that people play. One is the money game, because money is not going to solve all your problems, but it's going to solve all your money problems. So I think that people know that. They realize that, so they want to make money. But at the same time, many of them deep down believe that they can't make it. They don't want any wealth creation to happen. So they virtue signal by attacking the whole enterprise by saying, well, making money is evil and you shouldn't do it, blah, blah, blah. But what they're trying to do is they're actually playing the other game, which is a status game. They're trying to be high status in the eyes of other people watching by saying, well, I don't need money, we don't want money. And then status is just your ranking in the social hierarchy. So wealth is not a zero-sum game. Everybody in the world can have a house. Because you have a house doesn't take away from my ability to have a house. So wealth is a very positive sum game. We create things together. Status, on the other hand, is a zero-sum game. It's a very old game. We've been playing it since monkey tribes. and it's hierarchical, who's number one, who's number two, who's number three. And for number three to move to number two has to move out of that slot. So status is a zero-sum game. Politics is an example of a status game. But there's always a subtle competition going on between status and wealth. For example, when journalists attack rich people or like attack the technology industry, they're really bidding for status. They're saying, no, the people are more important, and I, the journalist, represents the people, and therefore I am more important. The problem is that by playing these status games, to win at a status game, you have to put somebody else down. That's why you should avoid status games in your life, because they make you into an angry, combative person. You're always fighting to put other people down, to put yourself and the people that you like up.
Turn it off. First of all, the first thing if you're going to make money is that you're not going to get rich renting out your time. Even lawyers and doctors who are charging $300, $400, $500 an hour, they're not getting rich because their lifestyle is slowly ramping up along with their income, and they're not saving enough. They just don't have that ability to retire. So the first thing you have to do is you have to own a piece of a business. You need to have equity, either as an owner, an investor, shareholder, or a brand that you're building that accrues to you to gain your financial freedom. There was this statement, I think it was Pascal, he said, all of man's problems arise because he cannot sit by himself in a room for 30 minutes alone. And it's very true. I always needed to be stimulated. And when the iPhone came along, boredom was dead. I would never be bored again. Even if I'm standing in line, I'm on my iPhone. And I thought it was great. And when I was a kid, I used to try and overclock my brain, be like, how many thoughts can I think at once? The answer is only one, but I would try to think multiple thoughts at once. And I was proud of that. I was proud that my brain was always running. This engine was always moving. And it's a disease. It's actually the road to misery. And now that I'm older, I realize you actually want to, again, rest your mind. You want to learn how to settle into your mind. And now I look forward to solitary confinement. You leave me alone for a day, it'll be like the happiest day I've had in a while. And that is a superpower that I think everybody can attain.
The superpower of learning to be alone and enjoying it.
Yeah. Most of modern life, all our diseases are diseases of abundance, not diseases of scarcity, right? Old times I may have starved. Old times if I got sugar, that was a wonderful thing. I should have eaten all the sugar I could get my hands on. If I gotten a piece of news or gossip, that was interesting data. That would have helped my life and moved me forward. If I'd gotten some brief amount of entertainment, whether through video games or magazines or whatever, that would have been good. Now it's all diseases of abundance. We are overexposed to everything. So the way to survive in modern society is to be an ascetic. It is to retreat from society. There's too much society everywhere you go. Society in your phone, society in your pocket, society in your ears. You're being socialized right now by listening to this podcast.
Right.
We're socializing you. We're programming you. Everyone's trying to program everybody. The only solution is turn it off. Turn it off.